Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to be giving you a recommendation for a home defense setup. Now, depending on where you live, what state you live in, local restrictions, gun laws are kind of one of those things that they're not always federal. There's certain state laws, state regulations that they want you to obey by. And just going to give you just my recommendation. I live in Florida, so Florida, free state, kind of get to own what you want. As far as standard capacity magazines, 30 rounds. Pistols are completely legal. Braced pistols are completely legal. Rifles or ARs are legal, all that kind of setup. So check your local regulations, restrictions, and that kind of stuff. To start it out, so one thing that's always by my bed, my home defense pistol. This is one of them. This is just my P365 XL. I'm running the Romeo Zero on top. So this thing is really nice because it's my concealed carry. So when I take it off at night, I put it right on my nightstand. When I go to bed, and then one of those things when I wake up, I put it right back in my holster on my jeans, and I'm ready to go. So it's just a concealed carry pistol. It's always by my bedstand, but it might not be the first thing I grab if I hear someone open my door at 2 a.m. The other one that I used to keep next to my bed is this guy. So this is my SIG MCX. I got it decked out with foregrip, which is a Daniels Defense, Odin O-Light flashlight, full size, and then I also got the MRO, and that's pretty much it, just upgraded triggers and stuff like that after furniture. So this used to be my go-to. This used to always sit next to my bed or underneath it or in one of my, in my nightstand, something like that. The reason that I swapped from that is because I ended up getting married, got my wife in the house now, and I got to account for every round through every wall. What that means is if I were to fire my 223 kind of green tipped ammo, it can penetrate the drywall, the 2x4, and then into another set of drywall, and maybe even still travel through there. The problem with that is I now have to account for not only shooting a target or someone in, who's breaking into my house, I got to account for it going through them into the wall and into, God forbid, my wife's sleeping in the other room, or into a neighbor's house or something like that. So there's a reason that I swapped from going from that. When I moved, this ended up moving into my nightstand. This is the CZ Scorpion. Got it decked out with the Romeo 4H, Crimson Trace flashlight, and a Fab Defense grip. And this also is just the a tailhook stock or brace. So if you're not familiar, this is a pistol. This is not a rifle. Do not get it confused with a short-barreled rifle, because then you get into the regulations of the ATF, of the National Firearms Act, and you got to pay a $200 tax stamp. Then you got to call whenever you want to transfer it beyond state lines and all that. So brace pistols, in my idea, are a way better route to go than SBRs as of right now. Now, you have to adhere to your state and local regulations when it comes to firearms and all that stuff. So CZ Scorpion is my go-to right now. The reason that I run this, I got it decked out the way I like. Flashlight, red dot. Home defense setups, I always recommend a flashlight and a red dot, just because it's easier to acquire the target, get eyes on it, and actually, make sure that you're shooting the right target too. Having a more compact setup like a pistol is really nice. It's really nice for when you have to stick to your walls, make tight turns throughout the corners of your house and stuff like that. So clearing rooms is really nice when you're running a brace pistol. Now, the 9mm cartridge doesn't penetrate as far as 223, or doesn't have the over penetration issues of the 223. You're running a pistol caliber versus a rifle caliber. So pistol calibers usually are more stopping power, and they expand further, up close, and then they end up dying off after, a couple sets of drywall, or a 2x4, or if human body, if you're actually, shooting somebody, then yeah, you got to kind of, realize that bullet is going to pretty much die on a lot quicker, because it doesn't have the same. See, so the difference is you have the bottleneck 223. This is a lighter load. This is going to be a little bit heavier. I want to say this is a 147. This is a 79 grain. So the 147 grains are going to end up pretty much just falling off, and they lose their velocity a lot quicker than the 223. So why I get into the over penetration issue so much is just because you have to account for where that round's going. If you end up putting a round into somebody, through them, and into a neighbor's house, and it hits them, you're liable for that. If it kills them, you're liable for it. So you now have to deal with the issue of not only, a home intruder break into your house and calling the cops. Now you're being charged with murder because you just ended up killing your neighbor. So over penetration is a giant issue. It's something you really have to pay attention to. Pistol caliber carbines, I like it because I know what they can do, and I know how many walls of drywall that my rounds are going to go through, depending on, of course, 2x4s and all the structure inside. But I know that this is going to go through pretty much my walls, and then it's going to stop. Versus this, the guy can go through my wall, my door, and end up in my neighbor's house. So that is something to pay attention to. They're also really nice just for that close quarters combat kind of setup, is just having something more compact that you're able to push through your room into your kitchen, or into your living room, or fight off two guys who are breaking into your house down the stairs pretty easily. So you're able to kind of move really quickly with a smaller, more compact setup. The reason that I say this would be better, this guy is going to be better than this guy, is because the points of contact and the magazine capacity. With the Scorpion mag, I have double the capacity of this guy, which is also running a magazine extension already. So I got 15 rounds versus 30 rounds, meaning I can put 30 rounds down with that guy, reload once, and then putting 30 rounds down with my P365, I'm going to have to reload twice. So that's going to be just my big recommendation, is looking into a pistol caliber carbine. I think it's a great home defense setup. Just magazine capacity, the ability to light up your target, the multiple contact points to make you a little bit more accurate. I can shoot this guy at about 50 yards all day with, putting 2-inch groups. Can't do it with this guy. I'll be lucky if I'm, hitting probably about a 10-inch group with that guy at 50, 60 yards, because I just haven't really trained as much. This guy I've trained at 50 yards with no problem. I definitely say looking into a pistol caliber carbine. There's a lot of options when you get into them. You have the MP5 kind of setup, MP5 clones. You have CZ Scorpions. You have AR9s. Something that I also have, which I don't really have set up as a home defense gun, this is more of just a target practice guy, is going to be my Chris Vector. Chris Vectors are really nice. They have a recoil management system. Even for the 9mm cartridge, it feels really different, just because it's taking the recoil and pushing it down into their system, and then it pretty much mitigates a lot of the recoil felt into your shoulder. This is also a brace pistol. So there's no ATF kind of NFA ruling on this right now to where it's saying that I can't own this. Just once you buy the pistol, you can buy the brace attached to all of it. You don't have to pay your tax stamp. This is a really good setup also. Just the Chris Vector's very reliable, very smooth shooting, very accurate. I'm shooting 2-inch groups at 50 yards with this guy with no problem. So that's one thing, that knowing that you're going to be accurate with your gun also. The multiple contact points on it too makes it really easy to tuck into your shoulder, and you're able to get a good grip on it to make sure everything's nice and tight, you're going to make sure that you're going to hit your target when you actually put the rounds down range. This guy runs Glock mags, which is really nice also. So when I have 7 Glocks in the safe, it's nice to be able to pull out one of the mags from one and just stick it in this guy, knowing that it's going to run. This is a 33 round Glock mag that usually is around $30, depending on pandemic timing. It might be a little bit more, but I definitely say pistol caliber carbines are the way to go for home defense, in my opinion. If you have other opinions, you have other thoughts, go ahead and post them down low in the comment section, and could read into them, and I can, make another video kind of just describing what you guys think makes a good pistol or home defense setup. One thing I will say, when it comes to home defense, get something that you're comfortable with also. Something that you and your wife, or if you have someone else in the home that has to go to that gun, make sure they're trained with it. Make sure you teach them that, hey, this is where the gun's at. This is what it can do. If you have children in the home, pay attention, to where it's at, and make sure that you have it locked, safe location, somewhere where you're able to access it and they're not, unless they're trained on it. You know, if they know what they're doing, if you train them properly, that's a little bit different. I've been shooting guns since I was 8 years old, and I haven't stopped since then. So I have a really long experience shooting guns. When I was trained on them at 8, you know, my dad taught me that, hey, this is not a toy, and they're still not toys. They're still tools, and they're, you know, making sure that you know your tool, making sure your family knows your tool it's going to save you and when the time comes. So getting down to the brass tacks, pistol caliber carbines, they're my go-to. Home defense, absolutely lightweight, reliable, compact. You know, they're easy to accessorize. So put your flashlight on, red dot, trigger groups, whatever you want to add in there, or upgraded triggers. Makes it nice. Add in foregrips, hand stops. This right here is a hand stop, so it'll make sure my hand doesn't get past the grip and actually going in front of the barrel while I'm shooting, which would be catastrophic. Probably lose my hand, which wouldn't, you know, is what we try not to do when we're shooting. So looking into maybe AR-9s, CZ Scorpions, Chris Vectors. If you got the money, go in B&T APC-9s or HK MP5s or MP5 clones. Looking into those. Try and test them out before you buy them. Try and just get your hands on them, see how you like them, and see what you can accessorize them with. If you can't add a flashlight to it, I would consider something else. Just because that makes and breaks a home defense gun. That can make the difference of, you know, if someone breaking your house at night, you being able to see them. So definitely just take a look, do your research, and, you know, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section or just post it in the comment section, and like, subscribe. Share this video, and I want to say God bless, and you guys take care.